Good afternoon, how are you? It's gorgeous out. The sun is out, it's warm but not hot. There's a slight breeze, but it's not a wind. It's nice. There are things that are hard to understand. That is how we write and talk about them. I get a feeling that the worst things that Trump does are received by others as if, wow, did you see what he did now? Like he's some sort of political Evel Knievel. And they're not quite astonished, but they don't quite recoil either. They don't say that's horrible. So what I'm thinking about are all those defendants who were arrested and chased and convicted, who are sitting in D.C. jails or held in custody in some fashion or other, either because they're awaiting trial or they've been convicted. And they put together a song. And it's about America, as if these guys are the patriots. It's kind of the jailbird quintet. Now, that's not the end of it. Trump has decided to be part of the mix. And he speaks our Pledge of Allegiance while the Star-Spangled Banner is sung by these cretins in jail. And here's the other thing. How was this recorded in the D.C. jail without the complicity of federal employees charged with security and keeping the jail safe? So were cameras put in there? And supposedly the recordings of the jailbirds singing was done in such a way as to catch the best sound quality in the jail. And on top of it, if anybody ever pays attention to the Pledge of Allegiance, it speaks to allegiance to the republic for which it stands. Trump says these words, but he doesn't respect it. He tried to overthrow the government to win an election. He actually lost by changing the rules. And when he couldn't get the vice president to do it, that is procedurally without violence, he pivoted to violence and let the games begin, so to speak. The Star-Spangled Banner, redesignated for these criminals, and for the one president who's betrayed his office and stands free without being charged with a crime. Boy, if that isn't the failure of a national government, I don't know what is. But we've been over this before. But I'm also upset that in this society we can have at the same time this song going on and people kind of amused and fascinated by it rather than disapproving and critical and attacking it, or putting up our own song. The political response here is to put up a song talking about put him behind bars, bring him to the court of public opinion, find him wanting. But don't just make it about words. Make him make an accounting by standing for charges like the DA brought, and like the Department of Justice seemingly will never bring. I mean, Jack Smith, God bless him. He's been in office since last November. No charges. And then some people are saying, well, he's starting another investigation. Like he has to finish all investigations and he can't charge for any one investigation. He doesn't have enough of the 5 or 6 different crimes that Trump has committed. He can't bring one, not even one. So, and there's no requirement, by the way, that you bring all the possible crimes you can. You can investigate other crimes. So, this is a really sad state of affairs. But I'm hopeful tomorrow, the next day, Trump is going to get another comeuppance, if you will, because today we had the summations in Ms. Carroll's case. The lady who was raped at Bergdorf Goodman's by Mr. Trump. and who was also defamed when he said that she really didn't have truth on her side, when it does appear that she does. She has two friends that she told about this rape shortly after it happened, and then there were two other witnesses in this case who came in and described their own experiences with Trump taking advantage of them, fondling them, and so forth. And then we do have as well the statement by Trump that Ms. Carroll's lawyer talked about today. And what the lawyer said was, Trump says, you can do it. And he did. And if you're a star, you can do these things. And he was talking about his intent and the fact that he thought it could be done, and he thought it was fortunate that he could do that. Because at one point he says, whether it's fortunate or unfortunate, I don't know, but for millions of years this has been happening with people who are stars, like he is a star. And the lawyer for Ms. Carroll said, yeah, and Trump wouldn't even come near this courtroom to defend himself. No, he's a coward. Of course he's a coward. And he knows it, and he tries to muddy the water by talking to the press when he's over in Scotland and Ireland and Great Britain. Oh, I'm going back to the trial. Yeah. I'm going to participate, but he doesn't. And Tacopina, the best he could say was, well, she could have called him to the stand. That's not our business to call him. And Tacopina said, well, how do you prove a negative? That's why they call them he said, she said cases. Trump takes the stand and argues that by facts what happened or didn't happen. And he didn't do that. The man is a coward, but he does the most terrible things to people and in situations. He does things not just against women, but against the nation, against the rule of law, against the allegiance, the Pledge of Allegiance that he made. And I've had my own problems about the Pledge of Allegiance, and I wouldn't say it while he was president. And I've never said under God, because I don't think it has any business in the Pledge of Allegiance. It was put there when I was a kid, and my nun had taught us, render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar, and to God the things that are God's. And so that line should not have been there. And I refuse to say it from the day that they changed the Pledge of Allegiance. What a stubborn kid I was. So I think we may have a good day tomorrow when justice may be done. I'm hoping for it. I think it's a fair expectation. And the lawyer for Carroll did something interesting. They didn't ask for a dollar amount because they said it wasn't about that. Now, what do you think if you were on the jury you would do? What award would you give her if you decided she had been raped and she'd been defamed by Mr. Trump, who didn't show up in court for the trial? Run away, run away. And keep in mind that first Barr tried to prevent this case from going forward. And then after that, Garland also interfered in the case, trying to claim that there was a federal reason to prevent it, stop it, etc., etc. There are funny things going on in this nation, and they're not aligned with the truth. They're not aligned with law and order. They're not aligned with good judgment. They're not aligned with justice. They're not aligned with just being fundamentally fair. So that's what I got today. So, like I said, it's a beautiful day out. If you haven't gotten out yet, do. And so I leave you in my cathedral of trees. Bye-bye.